Is it actually?
Okay, now it started.
All right. Is that first 3 minutes part of it?
No. No, it literally just started just now.
I wonder if I
You know?
can. See, it is real, so it's not clickbait because there actually is a BBW MILF there.
Yes, that's true.
All right, let me turn the volume. All right, guys. Happy Christmas 2018. I'm sure you all remember that first 3 minutes part of it. What the fuck? Oh, shit. I'm sure you guys all remember that great Christmas Q&A that I was supposed to do back in 2018. So pretty much what we're going to do is we're just going to knock those out of the way right now. And if you guys have any more questions while we're in the middle of this, you can feel free to go ahead and ask them in the comments. We'll prioritize those over any of the new ones. So let's just go ahead and get this started then. From NYC Mac 1234. Are you a fan of Becky Lynch's new character, aka the Man? I don't know. I don't really think it has that much potential. I think it's gonna flop within 2 months, and yeah, I don't really see it going anywhere. What about you?
Yeah, I don't think men can get pregnant, so I don't think it's going to work out for her very well.
But yeah, since I stopped doing videos before that character ever became a thing, I never really got to comment on it. It definitely started out hot. Like it was pretty cool. Like you definitely, and even nowadays, like well, I mean not nowadays. I mean she just, kind of we don't know what happened just now, but it was always pretty cool. I just kind of hate how they kind of when she got hot, they kind of didn't. They kind of got too comfortable with her, kind of like the same way they do with everyone. AJ Lee, Charlotte, like all of them. They just get comfortable, and then they're comfortable with them. Just I don't know. It just felt like at a certain point, it just felt like it was like come on, let's get something else already. Like it just felt stale after a while.
Yeah, I mean, I always liked Becky Lynch even from the beginning. You go back to her videos, I always said that she was one of the ones that had the potential, especially when because I hated Charlotte from the get go too. It was just I don't know, there was something about Becky that I liked. I couldn't really put my finger on it, but she always had a certain like likability to her, even when she was just like the quirky, corny baby face that was kind of just generic. She always had that likability to her, and I think that's one thing that kind of helped the Man thing work is the fact that because she was likable, giving her a more badass persona only kind of further enhance it. And like you said, it's like at first it was super hot, super good, built well. It should have been a one-on-one match against Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania. The fact that they need to shoehorn Charlotte into everything is fucking ridiculous. But that's a rant in and of itself that I won't get into. The bottom line is, I never had an issue with Becky Lynch. I don't understand why people have turned on her, why people think she sucks when she's exactly like I mean, on and on. It's exactly the same, but she's not. She has the same skill set. Like she doesn't suck. She hasn't gotten worse. So I don't see how you could say, "Oh, she sucks now." Even though, like, yeah, when this question was done, I'm sure these people were calling for her to be in the main event of WrestleMania.
I don't think it's necessarily that people think that she sucks now. I think it's just that they kind of got tired of it. Like you could only do the same thing for so long before it starts to get okay. Come on, let's see something different. And in Becky's case, you're right. She is just as good as she was when she first started. When she first started the Man thing, but at a certain point, it's kind of like, okay. I mean, it's been 2 years of this already. Like, can we see something else? And yeah, I think that's just kind of the point that people were with her.
I don't know, man. I see a lot of people say that Becky sucks. Like that's ridiculous. It's just
Yeah. Top 10 Nikki Bella, Brie Bella matches.
every match they've ever lost. Let me see. That great Nikki versus AJ match on NXT in 2010, when Daniel Bryan got involved and Nikki called him a fucking idiot. That was pretty memorable. Um, when Layla beat one of the Bella twins, the triplet at Extreme Rules, that was great. Let me see. Nikki's battle with getting pregnant with John Cena's kid, that was a great battle that she lost. I guess, I mean, there we go. Yeah, that WrestleMania 30 gauntlet match where AJ had to defend her Divas title. That was
That was a
that
great match because it didn't involve AJ that much.
Yeah, everyone will absolutely remember the Bella Twins for their performance in that match for sure.
Yeah, that suicide dive on everybody, that was pretty cool. That stare down, they were pretty much the main highlight of that match.
We kind of you almost wish that it was an actual suicide dive.
You fucking. I think that's pretty insensitive, especially considering the pandemic we're going through. Hey, what's up, Carlos Legend? You're my favorite Carlos Legend of all time as well. I clung onto the idea of you making this video until basically November 2019. Who knew my hope wasn't entirely false? Yeah, I know. Who knew, right? We always make these, there's still some hometown hero videos from like 2012 that I never did. We always set these schedules for these big videos that we plan on doing and then we never do it. So I think like right now that we're getting more into the live stream business, I think we'll be able to knock out a lot more of these. Um, Next question. This one is from Freaks of Wrestling Podcast. Why do you hate AJ Lee and Paige so much? I actually wrote down my answer for this one. So, I went into more detail about this in a previous video, but to summarize, I don't hate AJ and Paige. I hate AJ and Paige marks. Not their fans. I'm talking about the smarks that they brought into the division that didn't actually care about the division. They just wanted to bang AJ and Paige. So for years, we had to hear about how these two were God's gifts to the Divas division and how they should just fire everybody else. And the worst part is that to this very day, they cannot back that claim up. They just proclaim it to be true, and they'll deny any evidence to the contrary. As you could see with my Best of Page WWE video. And let me see. A lot of this is unnecessary. So, it's mostly just those fans, the stuck-up, arrogant ones that think they're better than everybody else but don't actually know anything. Like Omar is. But, yeah, why don't you go ahead and explain to us why AJ is as great as you say she is?
Shut your bitch ass up. Don't say some bullshit like that ever again. I don't. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you why your whole list is bullshit. Number one, Paige did born. The Bellas was never been born. So there you go. Paige is already better than them. And number two, AJ is just better overall. So there, you have no rebuttal to that. That's just a fact of life.
In fact, I met Paige. I think she knows who you guys are. Well, did you mention us or anything? I think she probably does too. I went to a live event and I was like shouting at her.
Yeah, no, this. I don't know, man, because we're pretty sure that other people, like people in the wrestling business, have watched our videos at least once. There's just been too many coincidences.
Jerry Lawler for sure.
Triple H.
Jerry Lawler blocked us on Twitter for no reason. I think that was just a sign to let us know.
Yeah, no, you're right. Jerry Lawler definitely did.
I don't know if you answered this yet, but where do you think the division would have been in 2011 if Karma never left? I kind of think that the Divas Revolution type of thing, I think that would have happened with Karma. I think they would have like transitioned a little bit more from the Kelly types and more into the Beth Phoenix and Natalia types a lot earlier if Karma had stuck around. So I mean, I guess it's good that Karma ended up leaving, so that way Nikki Bella could have been champion. But well, you know what, Nikki Bella would have hang in there with them anyway. MTO sucks. Fuck you, Sean's View Ant. But yeah,
I love Sean. That's my guy.
Sure. But yeah, do you have an answer for Carlos Legend's question?
I don't know. I don't remember what the state. Like I remember back then it was like the Kelly show, and then Layla got hurt. What happened after that? Layla got hurt. Karma wrote her off, and then she got pregnant. She was supposed to be with the Bella twins. Yeah, no, I think you hit it on the head. If they would have done the same shit, they might have formed a trio with Beth and Natalia, but the booking still would have been shitty anyway, so it wouldn't have really mattered because they didn't give a fuck about the Divas back then.
Name 3 good qualities Paige has. I mean, she's kind of hot in a necrophilic type of way. She has a decent body when she's not on meth, and despite her injury, she definitely seems to have a bright future in amateur porn. So, I guess those are 3 nice things. How about you?
Number one, she's obviously not racist. Number two, she has a good theme song. And number three, well, actually, I don't even dislike Paige. I was just indifferent about her. She was just whatever. I don't know. Number three, I guess she had like a lesbian thing with AJ, which I kind of enjoyed.
Yeah, actually, this is a secret I've been trying to keep, but I actually did. Actually was secretly a Paige fan. I just kind of kept on an act that I didn't really like her. I actually thought she was kind of funny as a heel. She made a really fucking hilarious heel. They should have kept her as a heel. Like she was really good in that role. Um, yeah, her in ring style I kind of like too. I mean, she kind of it was one of those things where she only really meshed well with people that kind of had a similar style. That's why her matches with Nikki were so good, and her matches with Charlotte and everybody else sucked. But yeah, I always thought Paige was all right. You know, I just couldn't stand this fucking the Smarks overhyping her. That's pretty much the main thing that kind of ruined it for me. Do you have any comment on your boy Sean's view and his latest comment?
What does it say?
You both suck.
No, fuck you, Sean VUN. Fucking asshole. I had your back too. You turned you on me like that. Fucking douche.
See, look, she made a point about how I was probably her favorite, even though I was in full Bella merch. I said I love Brie, and she replied with, "God, don't turn out like this internet dick I know about." Huh? That would be fucking that would be actually hilarious. Like if she actually like if that was actually a reference to me. That I yeah. I'm honored, Paige, if you're watching this, I'm sure you are. I'm sure you're one of the 3 viewers watching this. You know, you're all right. All right.
Where where does it say that? I don't see that. I'm on the live chat now.
Yeah, it doesn't say that on the stream, but on my on the actual stream page, it shows it on there.
Oh, that's pretty fucking funny.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. That's funny that she only mentioned you too. Like I'm still okay in her book.
Yeah, you never buried her. Like you didn't do die page die. I should bring that back now. Like yeah, I'm tempted to bring that back now just because of that.
Why
Yeah.
would you bring back Paige die when she's dead already? That's like trying to make a video on why the Twin Towers should be destroyed.
Yeah. Well, I guess it could be stay dead page. I don't know. I don't know. That was a great series. I never got to fully like. I had all these plans. Like I had all like 10 videos that I was planning on doing that I never got to do. Kind of regret it now. Do you have any faves in the division
do you have
now?
any faves in the division now, or do they all suck? You go ahead and answer that first. You're the bigger wrestling fan than I am.
Yeah, I don't really watch it that much now. I used to be a really big Dana Brooke fan. I don't know if she's still as awesome as she was then. Think she should have book. Mandy Rose is another one. Mandy Rose is pretty cool, and yeah, Becky Lynch is cool as well. Okay, is it still streaming or no? Live. Shit. Accept. Is it still streaming? Oh no, I'm live. Oh, still streaming. Okay. Yeah, my phone died. That was the issue there. 1 second. Let me try to get Omar's answer here. Okay. Is it still streaming or no? Oh, shit. Close. Alright. I'm gonna call you right now, Omar. But yeah, as far as a favorite right now, I think Mandy Rose would probably be as close to it. I think she should have been in the Money in the Bank and she should have won. I think the reason they didn't do that is because they knew they were gonna have to give the title to her right away because of the whole Becky Lynch thing. So since she needs a little bit more time before they give it to her, so that's probably the thing. Let me call Omar back right now. Contacting, ringing, connecting, speaker. All right, there you go. All right, so you got an answer?
Yeah.
So who's your fave in the
All right, we should
division?
be. There we go. We should be good.
Great.
What were you saying?
Oh yeah, you want to answer Carlos Legend's question?
Is it only for women wrestlers, or is it like wrestlers in general?
Yeah, it says faves in the division.
Okay, so I like Becky. I like Mandy Rose. For a weird reason, I kind of like Sonya Deville. I think Sonya Deville's underrated. I think they should be doing more with her than what they're doing. Who else? Who else? Obviously I like Alexa Bliss. Nikki Cross is okay. I mean, like, I don't know. Like, I can't really think of anybody else that I like. I like Nia Jax, but like I only like Nia Jax because she pisses off Smart. So I don't really like Nia Jax. I just kind of like Nia Jax.
Petition to bring back Paige to Tough Enough just so she can interrupt people again. You know what? Now that I think about it, that was actually hilarious. You know, now that I really have time to actually reflect on that, that was actually pretty freaking hilarious. That's why she makes a perfect heel. She is just like so. Yeah. So, least favorite wrestler right now. All right, give me time to think about this, Omar. I'm sure you have an answer right away.
Finn Balor and Charlotte.
Yeah, Charlotte, definitely Charlotte. It's just the fact that they're still pushing her. And there's the thing, like people say, oh, they only pushed the Bellows because of all these stupid reasons. No, the reason the Bellows got pushed is because they were high merchandise sellers because people actually wanted to see them. Like that's why they made the company money. Charlotte is getting pushed despite the fact that she doesn't even make as much money as Naomi did when she was champion, and yet they still push her as a fucking main event superstar and stuff like that. Like that is favoritism. Like that is legitimate.
That means she's doing sexual favors.
Well, yeah, probably
And then
that
the
too.
shitty part too, like the shitty part too with that is that the fact that they're pushing Charlotte subsequently leads to a push for Andrade, who is the most fucking bland and generic person ever to step into WWE. If not, he's absolutely up there.
Were you able to hear my mom in the background or no?
A little
Yeah, she says
bit.
Charlotte.
I just know.
Yeah, see, it's obvious. Which diva search that didn't make it to WWE were your faves? Layla Milani from the 2005 Diva Search. I thought she had great potential. She was awesome. She was like just from that moment, like from the very first interview that she did, just like all the way through, like she would have made a great heel. Like it sucks that she never got signed or anything. Like she is the greatest Layla in Diva Search history. I'll put it that way.
Absolutely not. She lost. What the fuck was the name of that girl from the first one? The one that lost to Christy in the end.
I don't remember.
Oh my god, was it Carmella? Was that her name?
Maybe.
Whoever that last one was against Christy.
Oh yeah, it was her. And now, yeah, I remember that promo she did where she was like, "Oh, Christy, you're the only one that I like. You're actually a good person." And then her response was, "You're a cum sucking gutter slut" or something like that. That was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That she was just, I don't know, man. Just like the whole fake aura about her, like made her just a great heel.
Hold on, let me see. But yeah, no, that was like she was just a heel because people could tell she didn't actually care about wrestling. That she was just there to be famous. Like Layla Milani was actually like a character. Like she actually had it down. Like everything, like just the personality, the mannerisms, the mic skills. Like she had it all. Like she was way better.
It is still screaming.
It's not.
It is.
Okay. All right, cool.
How as it used to be, now that they're actually trying to make it an own third brand, so we can just treat it like the joke that it is. We don't have to worry about them coming up. Um, but it's just like it's this whole aura of it, like this idea that these guys have to put on 10-star matches every single match that goes out there. That's just not how anything works. Like, not every football game is a competitive 24-21 that game that came down to a last-minute field goal. Some games are blowouts. Some games are less competitive than others. That's just how shit like that works in general. Not every needs to be an ultra competitive catch-as-catch-can 5-star classic where people are just killing each other in the ring. Especially when there's nothing on the line, there's no characters, there's nothing interesting about any of them, and they're all pretty much like the same person in different competitive 20 and then what makes it even worse is this toxic fan base that just, if you disagree with their ideology, if you don't see how great this is, quote unquote, then you're just shit and you don't know anything about wrestling.
Yeah, I was gonna do a whole video on this before, but I think it's kind of outdated now. Now that NXT is not kind of like the same problem anymore. But pretty much the whole reason NXT existed was just to give Smarks what they want. And you look at the audience that they try to cater to, the obnoxious Full Sail University crowd, the even more obnoxious Reddit Smarks. And, you know, it might be fine if they kept it contained to its own show as just something to keep those neckbeards satisfied. But the problem is that the NXT style has just been completely taking over the entire main roster, and it's a huge reason why the WWE sucks now. Is because they've just, you know, turned it into NXT. That's kind of the problem with it. And the whole reason why, you know, the only thing they do to take people, the only thing that NXT has been doing, the only reason they even have any stars to begin with is because they just take guys that were already stars in the indies, and then they just tell you that they were popular in the indies, and then people get behind them, and then the Smarks obviously get behind them. They get the reaction from the Smarks that they want just because they already know who they are. But that was the problem for them. I mean, you think about it. Think about people. How many people have actually come from NXT like originally, like without being popular in the indies, without any of that, and actually made it in the WWE? Like, it's a very small list of people that have actually done that. Because, like, that's the thing. Like, NXT didn't actually create stars. They just took people that were already stars and told you to love them because they were stars somewhere else.
Yeah, it's just bullshit. It's what the crazy part, we predicted this years ago. We weren't the only ones. There were a few channels that knew that this would happen, that it would get this bad, and they just continued with it, and it just got worse and worse. And now they're literally hitting record lows when there's nothing else to watch. That's how pathetic it is. They're hitting record low ratings when there's literally nothing else to watch.
And when
Like,
everyone's stuck
people,
at home,
they're streaming video games. People are at home. The fucking sports channels are streaming video games. People playing video games are getting more ratings than a live Monday Night Raw. That's ridiculous.
I personally ate NXT because it's breeding ground for Smarks and plagued us with Finn Balor. Plus, I see Fail Kim in NXT, and that bothers me. Is Fail Kim in NXT now?
I think what she's trying to say is that, like, NXT is like a perfect surrounding for her.
Right. Yeah. You see. Robert Deshawn, can you rank the top 10 current main roster women as far as wrestling ability, mic skills, potential, character work, etc.? I wrote down a list. I don't know if this is still valid. This was the top 10. I don't know if this is in any particular order, but I have the iconic duo Zelina Vega, Mandy Rose, Dana Brooke, Carmella, Alicia Fox, Mickey James, Bailey, Charlotte, Alexa Bliss, Sasha Banks, and Becky Lynch. Those were my top 10 at the time. I think, is that still valid to this day?
For the most part, that sounds pretty valid.
Did you make any changes, adjustments?
I mean, I could do it in no particular order too. I would agree with the Iconics. There's something about the Iconics that I like. It's not just because they're hot. I just kind of like them. Becky, obviously. I like Liv Morgan. I like Sonya Deville. Nia Jax. Let me see. Mandy Rose. Alexa Bliss, Sasha. No, I don't like Sasha Banks. And Mickey James. I like Lacey Evans actually. Lacey Evans is one that I forgot to mention. I actually kind of like Lacey Evans. She's decent. And then I mean I don't know if Maurice counts, but I'll add Maurice in there just
Is
for
Maurice even
fuck's
still
sake.
there?
No, but it lists her as like active, so I'm just gonna list her on there just because I feel like it.
All right. Do you think WWE is at an all-time worst? What do you think?
Yes, without a fucking shadow of a doubt, it absolutely is. I mean, we can complain about years like before. I don't. You know what? I didn't live through like the pre-Hogan years. I think that those were pretty bad. And I know that. And I remember when I was little watching matches of like Pedro Morales and whoever the fuck else just hunting each other for 30 minutes. That shit was pretty boring. So I can't vouch for saying that era absolutely could have been worse. But I can't speak factually about it because I didn't live through it. But if you're asking me personally how I have, like, if I've lived, if this is the worst that I've lived through, absolutely, without a shadow of a fucking doubt. 2007 and 2009 were fucking 10 years, light years ahead. So was 2013 for that matter.
Yeah, definitely. It's at the point where we don't even really watch it, and we can't even watch the YouTube videos anymore. It's just that bad. Like, and it's not even just because of the coronavirus thing. This has been terrible since. When did it really start? Like, it really started like in 2017. That's when things really started getting downhill. Now it's just like
What?
not even watchable. Like, there's literally nothing. You have like maybe two or three good, superstars, good segments. Bray Wyatt, the 24/7 title for a while was all right. And I mean, that's pretty much it. You have like two or three things that are good from the show that you kind of watch, and then like nothing else.
Yeah, like they've even managed to find a way to make Brock Lesnar kind of boring. Like Brock Lesnar will never be boring, but they've made him to a point where if there was anybody but Brock Lesnar, I would probably be bored. And same thing with Goldberg. Like Goldberg is like someone that I fucking love, and obviously because it's Goldberg, I'm not gonna get bored of it. But the way that they present him is just so awful. That's how I know because like the years that we think are the worst years ever that we've lived through had their moments. It's like 2007 had that late surge late in the year where it was actually really good. 2009 had its spurts here and there. So 2013 was good for like the middle of the year up until like Survivor Series or earlier. So it's there were moments back then. Like there was also hope. Like there were younger guys that you can look up, you can look to, and be like, okay, this guy might actually be something in the future, and I can't wait for him to get a push. Now we don't care. Like if Otis was to win Money in the Bank in one of those years, we would be probably a little more upset than what happened this time around, where we just don't care if a comedy character has the belt.
Tamana has recently got a push, and I nearly died of shock when I realized she actually had a personality. I mean, I mean, she. I've seen a couple of segments where she's kind of funny a little bit. Maybe that should be her gimmick. She should just be the comedy character instead.
She should make her gimmick like remember when she just repeated exactly what Charlotte said in a promo. Like they should just make that her gimmick. That would be funny.
Oh god, that was like. Yeah, that would be a great gimmick. Oh, did you see that one segment where she actually like gave us a plug? She's like they called her a man, and she's like, "Did you just call me a man?" And that was hilarious. I'm pretty sure that was a plug toward us, just like everything is.
Yeah, obviously. Jerry Lawler probably told her about us.
Yeah, right. All right, let me see. You just start putting like pictures of like everything we talk about, just so I don't know, make it a little bit more interactive, I guess. So the next question that we got right here, image four, browse. No, this is probably gonna take forever if I do it this way, but let us see. Flash. How do you think WWE has handled Bobby Lashley since his return?
Oh my god. Don't get me started.
Oh, is that it? Well, go ahead and get started.
Oh my god. Man. Is there like a more prime example of over the last like 3 years of them just shitting the bed with someone over and over? Man,
I mean, I'm pretty sure there's been a few discards.
I don't know, man. Think about it. Can you name like one since he came back in 2017? Can you name me one like meaningful match that he's won?
You know, that's kind of the thing. Like back when there were rumors that WWE was gonna buy TNA, I was kind of excited because I was like, EC3 and Lashley are definitely gonna be great once they get there. Like those are two talents that they have to have, and then they just did fuck all with either of them. Like I don't know what happened. Weren't there rumors that Lashley was supposed to face Brock Lesnar? Like that would have actually been something interesting.
That's what they should have done, but they never did it. The same shit, like you said, it's the same shit with EC3. But with EC3, I kind of saw it coming because it's just like they didn't do anything with you the first year or the first time around. I mean, so why would they do anything with you now? Like it's just they just don't fucking care about them.
Yeah, so kind of sucks. You know, you had all this potential. I mean, I don't know. Is it too late now? Like, is it too late to push him now, or I don't know? Is there still
I don't
some
think
kind of
like
hope?
with people like Bobby Lashley because he's like he's built like a freak of nature. I don't think you can ever really fully bury him, but it's tough. They they tried to rejuvenate him, but they've done like the stupidest shit. Like they put him with Lana, and then they made Lana like this annoying, stupid bimbo bitch that just nobody cares about anymore. Like I'm not even happy seeing her anymore because I get annoyed with her. Like she's like a Vicky Guerrero type, but like obviously she's better to look at, but it gets annoying. She also does a screech.
Yeah, is that still even going on? The Lana thing, is that even still a thing right now?
No, I think they might have axed it. I don't know. They keep like teasing that they're gonna axe it, and then they had like MVP tried to recruit him to make like the You remember You remember that faction they had in TNA like in 2014? I think that's what they're trying to do now. But instead of Kenny King, they're going to use like Apollo Creed or something.
Nah, great. Oh, that would be awesome. Next question that this same guy asked: what are your thoughts on WWE going on Saudi Arabia, despite the controversy or whatever? You have any thoughts on that?
I mean, I read about it. It's like it's fucked up. But I mean, if it Vince McMahon honestly just cares, like he wants to make money, and if there's a chance to make money and fucking oil money at that, like I don't know, man. You can call Vince a piece of shit all you want, but the bottom line is, if the same opportunity was presented to you to make 3, 4, 5, 6 times more money to put on a half-ass show like they always do, fuck, why wouldn't you take it?
Yeah, exactly. And you also got to think the thing like everyone was like making a big deal about that. Oh, this is gonna hurt WWE. This is gonna hurt them. Like, how does it hurt them? Like, what are the consequences of that whole thing? Like, nothing's happened. Like, yeah, people complaining about it on the internet, but they haven't lost money. They haven't lost advertisers. You know, it's pretty much yeah, yeah. So like, you look at it, they make all billions of dollars just for that. So yeah, it's the thing.
That's what I'm saying. And we get like crazy ass matches like Goldberg versus The Undertaker. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, the match fucking sucked, but still, like that's fucking crazy.
you know that's the crazy thing that like these shows are booked like GM mode. Like they're booked like some kids GM mode. You get like all kinds of like dream matches that you never thought you'd see that are just like fucking.
Fucking DX versus the Brothers of Destruction. I don't care if they're 100 years old. That match will still be cool.
Maybe it's because I started watching during the Diva era, but I have fond memories of it. I find it fairly similar to now. Besides the match types, I like the Diva era. The Diva era was pretty. It's pretty fun. You know, the only thing that kind of sucked was that they didn't really do much with them, but it had its highlights every now and then. They had a lot of talent. They had a lot of great superstars back in the day that they never did anything with. You know, it kind of sucks that they're not really bringing any of them back. Like Kelly will make an appearance every now and then, but like I think right now would be a great time for any of them to like come back and like feud with any of the newer talents.
Because they brought back Mickey James and they kind of just like shit the bed with that too.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, what are this next guy says? Please rant about the current state of politics.
That's more your area more than me.
No, you're. Why don't you go on about how great Hillary Clinton is?
Yeah. Well, she's great. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, did I have a? I didn't even have a script for this yet. I guess I could do another video on that later, but yeah, Bernie. They fucking Bernie Sanders should have fucking won. Like you guys are so stupid. Like
She's been
it is so stupid that
twice.
like yeah, both times actually, 2016 and 2020. Like you guys, like these people, like I don't know if these, I doubt these are actual people. I'm pretty sure most of them are just bots. Like they bit, like Hillary Clinton had in 2017 to correct the record, the David Brock bots. But Jesus Christ, these people are really fucking stupid. The ones and the media that keeps trying to push that Biden is more electable, he could beat Trump. Bernie Sanders is too much of a risk. He's we can't afford it. Like the middle America doesn't fucking like. How did we not learn? How did they not learn their lesson after 2016 with Hillary Clinton? And then they're still going to make the same mistake. Like, you guys just must want 4 more years of Trump. I mean, I guess it's better than Hillary, better than Biden. But, I mean, yeah, all of you that. I've seen people on Twitter, too. Like, I don't know if any of you guys are watching this. Letitia22. There's been a few people on Twitter that have actually hated Bernie Sanders as well because of his annoying fans. And, I mean, I guess I could kind of understand that. But, I mean, you guys realize that you're just getting 4 more years of Trump. And, like, yeah, you have no one to blame but yourselves. So, yeah, that's on you.
That's really crazy how it fucking fell perfectly for Trump to be president for 8 years because we got like two of the worst Democratic nominees of all time.
Exactly. And Bernie was going to win, but they literally did everything they could to elect him. Like, everybody dropped out at the last minute just so he could get their votes and stuff. Like, it took all of that just to get him to win, and that sucks. Let me go on to the next one. Let's see what other. I'm British, lass, and from outside U.S. politics just looks like, well, good luck, I guess. Yeah.
I envy you. I wish I lived in England. Or wait, do you live in England or you live somewhere else in Britain? I know it covers like Wales and
Yeah, don't be racist like JD.
yeah.
Let's see, where's the. I just delete all this. Move. This next one, top 5 years of WWE. Been waiting for ages for that one. I think, did you finish your best ones or did we just do the 3 one? I remember you recorded like 3.
That video. I'm pretty sure we had that recorded.
Yeah, we had. I think you only recorded for 3 years though. I think we're still missing the other 2.
Oh my god, this is gonna be tough. All right, we could do it. You gotta go first though.
All right. What were my best years? I'm just doing since I started watching. 2006, I think, was probably my favorite year. I think that's probably as close as the WWE has ever gotten to replicating the Attitude Era. You know, you had a lot of cool stuff going on right there. You had the live sex celebration. You had DX come back. You had, lots of hardcore matches, like lots of TLC matches, lots of blood. ECW came back. It was really, the Mick Foley and Edge match at WrestleMania 32. WrestleMania 32 was really awesome. So I think 2006 is definitely number 1 on that. Followed by that, it'd be 2005.
Polo,
To,
I'm
what?
gonna put the TV right now. So I don't know if you're
Doing the
gonna.
score thing?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Put the
No,
TV?
keep going.
After that would be 2005. 2005 had probably some of the best storylines ever. Like that might have they might have not had the best stars and everything, but like man, that was such a great year for, the pay-per-views were all great. All the stories made sense. You had Eddie versus Ray. You had
Why didn't never send over?
just everything. 2005 was great. Or you know what? We'll expand on this later, but yeah, just off the top of my head, yeah, 2006, 2005, 2008 was all right. I don't know if that was a top 5 best year. 2011 was awesome. Like we lived through that year. You can go back and watch our videos from back then. Great year. 2014 as well was a really fun year. Even if majority of it kind of sucked, it was a fun year. Omar?
Let's see. Obviously 2000. Yeah, we're gonna go with from when I started watching, but I'm gonna count years prior to when I started watching too, because I've watched enough. Like with the network, we can watch most of the episodes in the pay per view. For me, it's like 2003 will always be my favorite year, just because that's when I first started watching wrestling. So like that's the most sentimental year. Like when Kane took off his mask, I'll never forget. Like that's the first time I ever punched the TV. How mad I was! Like that's the first time that wrestling made me cry. Is when Kane lost to Triple H and had to unmask. You had the whole Brock Lesnar Kurt Angle feud on SmackDown. You had the Undertaker going around the American Badass. Gallen was over there giving people a reason to believe. Stephanie McMahon was a great babyface GM, but looking back, like from what we know now, looking back then, like there was some stuff that was just like, wow, this is really poorly booked. Or you could sense like a lack of star power at that point in time, even though it seems like the roster was stacked. But it's just, 2003 will always hold that special place in my heart. Number two, probably agree with you on 2005, just because like you said, the storylines were all great. We got a bunch of I think that's when we had like an inflation of young guys that were like just coming in, making a name for themselves. Randy Orton was becoming an established name. Even though he had won the world title the year before, no one really took him seriously. It wasn't until he really started feuding with the Undertaker, and that feud is all like one of the all-time greats. You had shit like that. The fucking SmackDown versus Raw. That's the best SmackDown versus Raw storyline they've ever done. Was the one that they did in 2005. That shit was fucking great. So there's just so much shit. Like there's a Batista. Like you can't say enough good things about the year 2005. I'll put 2001. I enjoyed the invasion. 1999. Obviously, can't
That's
go
a
wrong with
controversial
any
one. A lot of
Attitude
people
Era
hate that year.
And just to round it out, I'll put 2011 there too.
Let's see. All right. What was the next question here? One sec. You wish you lived in England? No, you really don't. We've got a dude called Boris in power, and I'm not religious, but Lord, have I prayed for him to mysteriously vanish. Bet you were disappointed. He ended up getting the coronavirus and recovered. I bet that was a really sad day for a lot of people. A lot of people were pissed off that Trump didn't get it. That was funny.
Fucked up. No, you know what's crazy? As I read something, I don't know if you ever read the lady's name was Baba Vanga or Vanga. I can't remember what it was. She was like, she's Bulgarian. She's like a Bulgarian psychic, and they say she predicted 9/11. She predicted like hella shit, and she predicted that in 2020 Donald Trump would fall mysteriously ill, but she didn't know that he would be the president. So like that shit's fucking crazy.
Huh. Yeah, that's pretty insane. Let's see here. All right, next question. Oh, well. Yeah. Whatever. That works. It'll have to work. All right. Fuck, where did I put it? How would you book the women on both brands leading up to WrestleMania 36? And WrestleMania 36 is the one that just happened, right?
Yeah.
Right. Well, let's just say from WrestleMania 37. Is there even anybody? Yeah, Mandy Rose. I think Mandy Rose, you give her the title at WrestleMania 37. I think you have her be the one that beats the man. That'd be pretty great. Or is
Bring back Ronda Rousey. Do Ronda Rousey versus Becky Lynch 1-on-1 with no Charlotte. Release Charlotte. And then on the SmackDown side, I would have Nia Jax do like the dominant heel run, and then have Mandy Rose and Otis be the ones that finally beat her.
yeah, my computer's got a little bit slow. Image. Yeah, you know this is like this is taking up too much time. All right, let me just just leave it to her. I'll go there. What are your thoughts on Tessa Blanchard in Impact Wrestling from Laurel Lewis?
Yeah.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
I listened to something the other day. It was, I don't know if it was his podcast or if he was a guest on one, but Booker T actually talked about it, and he went in depth on the whole pushing Tessa Blanchard and making her the world champion, beating Brian Cage, beating fucking who else? Spit Machine Sammy Callahan. And he said this is the most ridiculous thing that he's ever seen in his life. And I agree with him. Because you gotta, if you really put it into perspective, the whole purpose of wrestling is to present something that's not real and make it look as real as possible, while inflicting like the least amount of damage possible. And then what Booker T said was perfect. He said if a man punches a woman on the street, he's going to jail. So why does I'm watching something in the ring where a guy's beating the living shit out of a woman and nothing's happening? Like it just completely breaks. It just breaks your suspension of disbelief. It just ruins the mystique of wrestling. It ruins the aura of it to that extent. You're watching something that's just so like ridiculous, like a 5'4" Tessa Blanchard. Granted, yeah, she's still with the freak of nature, strong. She's obviously works out, but come on, like fucking 6'8" Brian Cage is like 300 pounds, nothing but fucking steroids that shot into his ass. And I'm supposed to believe that Tessa Blanchard beats him 1, 2, 3. That's just it's ridiculous.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's wrestling. I mean, we had China back in the day. Was China really a problem? Ronda Rousey beating up Triple H.
Okay, that's in birds. That's in moments. Like China, the people that China was beating, China was not only bigger than, China was probably more manlier than them too. Like that's like Ronda Rousey beating up Triple H. Even though it was just a moment, like it was okay, but it also looked ridiculous. So seeing Tessa Blanchard compete in a 30-minute match with Brian Cage is different than watching China beat up like fucking Tajiri or something.
No, no, I mean, you make a good point, but I don't really think it really matters. I mean, whatever. We're in the progressive period. You know, women are just as great as men. So I think it's pretty sexist of you to make assertions like that. You know that a woman can't beat up a man and that a woman's not as good as a man. You know, I think.
I beat you up.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's interesting. I mean, it's something different. You know, it's kind of crazy though how something like that wasn't enough to really get TNA that much attention because like even then, like not that many people actually know that she was actually the world champion for a little bit. So that's kind of
I think she still is, isn't she?
Is she? Didn't she lose it to Moose?
Did she?
Yeah, I think Moose is the champion right now, and that's another thing. We predicted Moose would be a superstar when our ROH 2015 review. So, who's better, Tessa Blanchard or Charlotte Flair?
Oh, Tessa Blanchard by far. Yeah, she's still the champion.
Is she? Huh. Don't know where I read that.
Maybe she fucking beat Moose too. Maybe she's just running roughshod around the fucking division.
That'd be great. Let's see. Let's see. Great. What are your thoughts on Sonny's nasty ass porno?
I thought they were solid. I wish we would have done it sooner, but I didn't think they were bad.
Yeah, personally, I wasn't a big fan of the storytelling in, the scene. I thought, I didn't really believe in what they were doing. It didn't really feel like they were, that their heart and soul was into it. The work rate was also pretty lackluster. It kind of felt like Sonny was just going through the motions. Not really like putting in the work. To really make it work and stuff. So I kind of that's kind of disappointing. So I was kind of frankly a little bit disappointed in those things. But yeah, that's just my personal opinion. I'd probably if I had to rate, I'd probably 3.5 stars maybe in that range. I'm in the bathroom. Okay. But yeah, that's just my personal opinion. Okay. There we go.
It's attached to that other stupid bank, made a bank that everybody's attached to. Everybody else,
One second. There you go. Oh, our homie Ryan Lodowick's in the chat.
Yeah, I saw that.
Lodowick's in the chat. Nah.
You started back up?
Yeah, I started it.
Alright.
Oh, did you give your thoughts on Sunny's grape porn?
I did.
Nah,
Is
great.
it right?
What would you rate it?
10 out of 10 stars.
Yeah, great.
That's the best fucking porn I've seen in my life.
Wonderful. All right, the next question. Talk about an alternate reality where Rosa Mendez and Oksana are the legends and Trish and Lita were the jobbers.
I think we answered this one. We said that we
Well,
don't know
I
what the hell
answered
we're
it.
talking
You-
about as if that wasn't the case already.
Yeah, I answered it already. You give your 2 cents on how great that was.
It's ridiculous. Like, that's all.
that fucking
Obviously, that's the life we're living now. I don't know what you're talking about an alternate universe.
It's one of them. No, I don't know like that. Or is it the cheetah?
All right. I think that's pretty disappointing for Ryan Lodowick, but let's see. See legends. So, want to talk about how legends are mistreated in WWE. Tori, Kelly, Molly getting eliminated from the first Evolution and stuff like that. Yeah, that kind of sucks. Like, you would think that, with how they need to build up all these new stars and stuff, like, they could use the old talent to really put them over and stuff like that. But it feels like they haven't really been doing that, really. It feels like they just bring them in just to job. Like, if they kind of treat them like if they weren't even that good, and like everybody today is better than everybody of the past. So that's kind of been like really the issue nowadays. They don't really like. They still treat them like divas, like so to pay that, as opposed to women wrestlers. I guess that's probably the analogy.
Didn't they do that with both though? They do that a lot with the men. Like that's exactly what they did with the Dudley Boys. They brought the Dudley Boys to come in and lose for 6 months and then got rid of them again.
Oh yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I mean, well, not all of them though. They bring in guys like Goldberg and Brock Lesnar every now and then. And
Yeah, but who would you have Goldberg lose to?
yeah, I guess so. That's the point. Like, even with like a big like, well, I mean, I guess Trish is pretty much the only one that they've kind of treated like that. Even Lita, they've kind of treated like a jobber every time she comes back too. And what do you think of Kelly's return at the Royal Rumble and Evolution? I think she's better now than she was when she was there. I think she's pretty good. I actually kind of like to see her come back. Actually, maybe as a heel that just like wants to bury all the new talent. That'd be pretty cool.
Holy shit. Yo, if anyone's been following us this long, this is huge. This guy fucking hated Kelly more than myself. Kelly is to him what Finn Balor was to me in 2016. Like, that's huge. That's wow.
I never actually hated Kelly. I just did that because she beat Brie for the title.
It was alright. I was never a big Kelly fan. She was just hot, but you know what? She was never bad to me, so it's all right.
Yeah, I never actually hated Kelly. I just did that. I only started burying her because she was feuding with the Bellas, and then after that, it kind of became my gimmick, so I kind of just ran with it.
All right.
Do you think Summer Rae could have done just as good of a job as Alexa as the top heel of the division, since Alexa was only praised for her great mic work? And do you think Summer would have fit in her role as the GM for the women better, like she did in FCW? Yeah, I think Summer could have been just as good as Alexa Bliss. Well, I don't know. I think Alexa probably has better mic skills, but Summer Rae overall, like she was like better. I don't know what happened to that. Like what the hell? They were pushing her. She was on Total Divas. She was getting like she had that feud with Layla, and then like everything went downhill. I blame Layla for that actually. Layla killed her career.
No, Fandango killed her career. What the fuck?
I mean, she was with Fandango since 2013. She really started getting her push in 2014. So like the only real difference was Layla.
I don't know. I don't think Summer Rae was anywhere near as good as Alexa Bliss. So I don't think that she would have been as good, or if she would have given the proper platform. I think if she was given that same platform, she would be what Carmella was. Like that's it. I look at her the same talent level as Carmella.
I don't know. I think on NXT she proved that she was good. Like she could have been hanging up there with like she was definitely better than Paige.
That's not saying much.
Nah, I guess so. Are Dana Brooke and Alicia being mistreated? Dana Brooke definitely. Alicia, what is she even doing now? Has she even didn't she get released already?
She's still employed.
I don't even think she's been in any of the battle royals or anything lately.
Yeah, but I'm surprised she like with all the cuts that they've been making. Like, I'm surprised Alicia Fox was in the makeup.
Yeah, well, it kind of sucks that Alicia Fox never. Oh, I was gonna say she never became champion. She was in 2010. She probably
Oh
should.
yeah, she was.
Yeah, she probably should have beaten Paige in 2014. That would have been like she was. That was probably the best time you could have pushed her.
Oh, when she did that stupid crazy gimmick.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess.
Say
I
some.
don't know. You know what? I get a lot of fucking shit for this, but I never thought Alicia Fox was anything special. I don't know where to get that notion from. That's just all right. Just, yeah.
I think she should have probably like. Naomi had 2 title runs. I think Alicia probably could have had one of them at least. Like she. I don't know.
Nah, Naomi's good. Naomi's good. Like she's like it's hard to explain, but she's good. Like she's not like main event good, but she's good enough to like win the title here and there. She's like what Chris Benoit was to the men's division back then.
Like who?
Yeah, that guy.
Nah. Thoughts on the current treatment of Mickey James?
Uh, they need to put her in misery. This cut her, man. Poor. I don't know. Maybe she's like a trainer backstage. I don't know. But just don't put her on TV anymore. It's really sad to see like how bad you're dropping her about.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. Before she came back, she was like a legend, like right up there with Trish and Lita. And ever since that, she's just a jobber now. Like they didn't even. Did she even have any feuds? Do you think Evolution is part of WWE legitimately trying to push the women's division, or just push and sell tickets? Definitely the tickets.
Yeah, because think about what's happened since then. Like,
Exactly.
no, the problem is that just that they try to force feed it too much sometimes. Like the shit with when Ronda Rousey came in, like that was actually a big deal. They didn't really like force it down your throat. Like a lot of the shit was like, oh, you're watching like when you watch a Bailey match, like I don't want to feel the same way watching a Bailey match that I do watching a Ronda Rousey match. This is ridiculous that they try to push the same way. It's fucking stupid.
Yeah, you know, they haven't done one since then. I think probably the only reason they even did that now, actually thinking about it, was because of Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, because Ronda, honestly, there's like three. If there's even three, there's three women that you could trust to main event an actual pay per view, and Ronda Rousey's one of them.
Yeah, Ronda Rousey, Nikki Bella, and who's the other one?
No, it's Ronda Rousey, it's Becky Lynch, and it's Trish Stratus.
Well, Trish Stratus never main evented anything.
Yes, she did.
Oh, well, she main evented Raw once.
And she could have main evented.
Yeah. How do you feel about Maurice and her not wrestling in matches? I think this is more your alley.
I don't know why it's my alley, but okay.
Well, she's your favorite, right?
I mean, I just wish they would use her as like a character, use her as a heel or something. Because Maurice is too good of an on-screen character to not, even if she's not wrestling. I get that, but like, if you're gonna be on tour with the Miz, like you could be a scam or something like that. Like, just use her in some capacity because she's still contracted by the company.
Yeah, it's kind of the disappointing thing. Like, I wish they would like at least use her for more storylines or something. Like, have her feud with the Divas back. Have be be a Divas manager or something, on top of being with the Miz or something like that. Like, just yeah, the fact that she's not really doing anything and just yeah, it's kind of disappointing. Like the feud with Nikki Bella, that was great. Like that was like grade A material right there. But I think that's mostly because Nikki was there to carry her and stuff. And yeah, but yeah. Favorite WWE Divas match? I don't think this is just my favorite, but I think this is probably the best, not just Divas match, but the best match of all time, I think. It took place over the summer a few years ago. And, you know, I kind of hate having such a cliche pick because pretty much everybody acknowledges that this is probably one of the best matches of all time. Um, but yeah, it's got to be Melina versus Alicia Fox, man. I mean, no doubt about it.
I would say it's James Ellsworth against Carmella for the Money in the Bank briefcase. That was good.
If I'm answering honestly, though, I think the Nikki versus AJ versus Paige match was probably my favorite. I know it wasn't the best, but I think that's just like the prime example of just how great Nikki is and how terrible AJ and Paige suck. So it's my favorite for that reason. Just the fact that she carried the two most overrated divas of all time.
It's absolutely without a doubt. Let's see. For me, my favorite AJ versus Caitlyn, but Trish versus Mickey James at WrestleMania 22 is right there.
Yeah, that one was fun. I didn't understand why the Chicago crowd was so mean though and booing Trish Stratus. I mean, that was pretty mean.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that tongue thing that Mickey James did. I don't know. I did that at school the next day, and I got in trouble for it. I don't know why.
Should the Divas have a mid-card title? I mean, look at how great the tag team titles have worked out so far. I don't really think. I mean, the SmackDown title basically is the mid-card title.
No, I don't know, because Brock Lesnar was holding that belt, so I don't know. If anything, the Raw title is the mid-card title.
I mean, it could be either or. Like, one champion is always, like, more superior to the other, so...
Yeah, that's true. Well, except right now, they're both, like, equally as, like, irrelevant, kind of. Because they waited too long for it.
Thoughts on Angelina Love, and why do you think she's always pushed over Velvet Sky? I think she just sucks up to the right people, you know?
Angelina Love is definitely, like, in all aspects better than Velvet Sky. That's why she gets pushed. She's obviously hotter than Velvet Sky. She's better on the mic. She's better on the ring. She's better all around. You know, you can't hate on greatness.
Better on the mic.
That's one thing that people need to get around their head. It's like, even though you want to hate someone because they're achieving so much, because they're so great, you can't hate on greatness. Greatness is just something that comes naturally. You can't hate on someone for living up to their full potential just because you didn't. Aspects better than Velvet.
Well, no, the thing about Velvet Sky is that even though she didn't get pushed as much as Angelina Love, she was always a bigger star. Like, people always, like, associate her as being, like, the bigger star of the two. So that's why it was, like, so weird. Like, she made more money for the company. She was, like... So I don't know. That really doesn't make any sense. I guess it was just more of like TNA. Like, yeah, she was a better wrestler. I guess that's why. But I don't know. Just Velvet Sky overall was always a bigger star, regardless. Like, regardless how much they push fucking Angelina, Velvet Sky was always the bigger star.
I think that's Cap. But okay.
Yeah. Well, do you think Molina is Hall of Fame bound? You know, I didn't even think like I thought she had so much heat that she would never come back, but she did come back for like one night. So I don't know. I think she'll get inducted probably within the next 5 years or so, maybe.
I think she'll only go. Well, I don't know. They just brought back John Morrison. I don't know if they would do it like when John Morrison's still there.
Or did they break up?
And again, Vince doesn't really like John Morrison either. So yeah, let's just it's gonna be within the next 5 years. That would make the most sense.
Yeah. We're fucking like okay. What are your thoughts on Sable? I mean, I don't think I can really say my thoughts right here. I mean, this is a PG show, so I don't really think I can express my thoughts on Sable too much.
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna watch what we say on this sexy Christmas 2018 non-sexual BBW MILF stream. We definitely gotta watch what we say. So let's just say that Sable was she was good.
How well do you think Emma will do in the Indies once she returns due to her skin condition? I mean, I hear she has attitude problems, and so just like Melina, I think that's gonna like hinder like her potential in the Indies. Not that many companies are gonna want to work with her or hire with her, but I don't know. I could see her in that kind of like Angelina Love type of path, where she's just kind of like a nice attraction with name recognition that shows up every once in a while. But I think the only company that would make her a top star would be ROH, because ROH doesn't really care.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't really pay attention to Emma. I follow. The craziest part is like I follow her on Instagram, and I saw her post like a picture of her skin, and I was like, I was kind of grossed out. But then I read the story. I was like, oh, okay, that's actually kind of sad. And then like I don't know. I don't really like. I don't know. I don't know. I can't see. I don't. I just don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna say anything.
What are your thoughts on the Bryan versus Lesnar match? I never watched this one.
Uh,
Did you?
I mean, they booked it as believably as they could because Brock Lesnar would pretty much beat the shit out of him. The only thing is that like I sincerely thought that they were gonna have Daniel Bryan win when he hit the fucking flying knee on him. That made me mad. But
Why would it
honestly,
make you
that should have
mad?
just been like a squash. That match should have been what Brock Lesnar versus Kofi Kingston was.
Nah, I think Brock Lesnar versus Kofi Kingston was booked as great as it could have been. You know, I think that's the only way you could have booked that match. Like, wait, would you really prefer the? I don't know. Oh, from Giants Nation, do you like football and how do you feel about this NFL season? I think this NFL season is going pretty good. How about you?
I love football. If you're referring to I think it was the 18th season. I think that's when the Rams and the Chiefs were. Yeah, that's when Patrick Mahomes went crazy. But I won't get too much into it because this guy doesn't watch football, so I don't want to. And I know
Yeah, well,
I've
you can just
tried to
go
talk
ahead. It
about
doesn't
football in the
matter.
past, and people just don't get interested. So just know that I know my shit. And if you're talking about this past season, it was a great season. I'm glad that Patrick Mahomes won a ring. So
Favorite video games. All right. I like mostly horror games. I was gonna make like a because like you can't really break it down. You don't really have a favorite. You kind of have favorites. Like if I was to make like a PS1 favorites, PS2 favorites, like you can't really just pick one altogether. Let me see. I was making a
yeah,
list: Resident Evil games, the Kingdom Hearts games, GTA San Andreas, Simpsons Hit and Run, Life is Strange, Until Dawn. I never got to make my list, but I mean, there's definitely a lot of them.
yeah, I thought the Kingdom Hearts games were trash, but
You,
that's obviously that's just
that's
yeah.
blasphemy.
They were just complete trash.
Well, the third one was.
Anyway, I think every Grand Theft Auto from 3 up except 4. So I think Grand Theft Auto 4 was it wasn't bad, but it just didn't live up to the standard of the other ones.
Yeah.
Like you could put 3 Vice City, San Andreas, 5 like all together in like the GOAT category. I wouldn't put 4 up there just because the mechanics were off. It just felt lower, and they just fixed it at the end of the 5 thing. But obviously, the SmackDown versus Raw. You can't forget about the old SmackDowns. You can't fucking forget Driver, Crash Bandicoot, fucking. Oh my God, there's so many. There's too many of them.
Exactly.
Like,
We should make an MTOMR
you can't
ranking.
possibly narrow this shit down. Yeah, I mean, Marvel vs. Capcom, Madden, FIFA. There's too many to name.
Leisure Larry, that was a great series as well. You know, there's lots of great ones. We should probably make an MTOMR ranking about this later on. But
Fucking, we're not even talking about like the classic like Super Mario,
yeah, right.
Donkey Kong, like that. Those are fuck.
Favorite active male and female wrestlers in the modern WWE roster. I guess The Miz would still be it, and
Oh God,
Mandy Rose.
Roman Reigns and Mandy Rose.
Nah. Well, actually, I think Mandy Rose is kind of overrated. I think Dana Brooke is definitely better. Rant on NXT. I think we already did that, or unless you want to keep going.
No, I've rented on it for 4 years. I'm NXT out.
Favorite anime if you watch it, Yu-Gi-Oh for sure.
I don't watch anime. It's just
You never watch Pokemon or anything?
I guess. Okay, let's just say Pokemon, just for shits and giggles. I mean, like I wasn't huge on Pokemon, but I think I liked Digimon better when I was little. But like growing up, I could see why that's bullshit. But fundamentally, I'm always gonna have a soft spot for Digimon.
Are you a fan of Left 4 Dead or Telltale's The Walking Dead? Yeah, I like the Walking Dead games. I think the video games kind of suffered the same fate as the TV show, where once it hit its peak, it's just kind of went downhill after that. Uh, I think the decline started after they killed Carver in season 2 of the games. The whole Arvel thing was kind of stupid. Then episode 4 and 5 were kind of boring. And then since then, season 3 nobody likes. Season 4 was pretty good though. They did kind of wrap it up all right. I think there's a lot of things that they could have done better. They kind of screwed Kenny over. He got the short end of the stick there, and so they definitely could have done a lot of better things than what they ended up doing. But yeah, the games overall they were fun, for what they were.
I always hated The Walking Dead. Actually, I always thought that show was fucking boring as shit. But the Left 4 Dead games, those were great. Those were just like fucking prime, coming home from high school, going online, talking shit with your friends, fucking playing Left 4 Dead, the campaign, and playing online. That shit was fucking great.
Do you still watch American Horror Story? Yeah, I still watch it. It's kind of hit or miss nowadays. Like the only season that I didn't watch was Freak Show because I thought the first couple episodes were boring. I went back and watched it, and it was just okay. I mean, I liked the Dandy character; he was pretty cool. The Neil Patrick Harris guy, I don't know if that was Neil Patrick Harris or just a lookalike, but that guy was pretty cool too. Uh, yeah, I don't know. It's just really like a mixed bag. They always start out great. Like you always look at them, like they have great ideas, but then like it always like just goes downhill. Like from like episode like 4 and 5, like it just like it it's too much. Like this show is the perfect example of trying to cram 10 pounds of crap into a 5 pound bag. Like that has been the problem this whole time. Like with that show, it just you know they have good ideas, but then they just throw all this other crap at the wall that just like ruins everything and drags down the whole quality of the show. So I don't know. It's still alright though. It's like better than most other shows on TV.
Yeah, I never watched it, so I'm not gonna say it. But I've always wanted to watch it. I just never got around to it.
Do you like the Super Smash Brothers? I played it. Like a lot of people that I know, like have wanted me to play it with them, and I played it. It's okay. I mean, it's kind of fun. Being Jigglypuff and beating Bowser's ass and stuff like that. But I kind of hate how they don't really have like. No, I don't know. I guess they have some good characters. I mean, they could expand a little bit more. I mean, there's some characters that they've never really added. Spiral, Crash. The Resident Evil characters. I think Nemesis was Nemesis in it. No, I don't know, but Nemesis would have been a great character to have in there. There's lots of great characters that they could have there that they just don't have. Waluigi, they never even included that guy when he's like the best. Waluigi, he's like the best Super Mario character of all time. Like just
Oh,
great.
get out of here! No, stop that!
Right, so.
No, stop that! No,
Wow.
Super Smash Bros. Is awesome. It's just there's just some characters that are fucking OP, like Pikachu. Fucking Pikachu is so OP. Like you get anybody, and Pikachu just has to electrocute you, and then like push you 20 feet away, and you're done. So like I don't know. Some of these fucking characters are just overpowered. But yeah, like one thing that I've always wanted to do, while we're on the topic, I wanted to see them do a Super Smash Bros. With like every SpongeBob character ever. Like they have enough characters to do that. That would be fucking cool.
I think SpongeBob. There's been some SpongeBob games that have had some like fighting, like battle royal stuff attached to them. I think Lights Camera Pants had that.
Imagine you could pick imagine they have that same menu screen but with like nothing but SpongeBob characters. You could pick Mrs. Puff, you could pick Flats, pick fucking Squidward, you could pick like any of the fucking Squidward from the Squidward community. Like it's fucking the chances are endless. Honestly, the characters are endless too.
Yeah, there's been a lot. Yeah, there's been a lot of like crossovers between Nickelodeon, like a lot of those like battle games, like Nickelodeon versus Nickelodeon shows versus each other. There's like mostly racing games though. There's not really anything like I don't know if there's anything like fighting like that. But yeah, that'd be pretty cool. But I think that's pretty much like the last question there that from that whole thing. So yeah, that's all of them. So yeah, I guess that pretty much wraps this whole thing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I promised you guys I'd get this out, within the next 5 years, and here we are, 2 years later, finally done, and yeah, so we got that completed. Anything else you want to add?
No, just I don't know. Should we start doing these like the live streams regularly on Sundays?
Yeah, I don't know. Sure, whatever. Like whatever day you think. Yeah, I think we should start a regular schedule just doing this since we're not really going to be doing videos that much anymore.
I guess we could do it just like on Sundays and like I don't know. We could pick a random day out of the week. I guess. I don't know.
Yes, yeah, and Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like whatever works. Like doesn't really matter what day as long as like we stick to that day and just like do that day every week. I think it'd be all right.
Yeah.
No, do you want to sign us off?
Nope.
Great. Anyway, this has been the other guy saying yada yada yada.
Nope. That's not you.
Yep.
Nope.
Afraid you lost that nickname.
Nope.
Afraid it's been stripped.
Afraid I never lost. That's why I'm still a virgin. I don't lose anything.
Anyway. Yada yada yada. Blah blah blah. What?
That's not you.
Afraid so. Good.
Nope.
And bye.